do a little patter before we wait, before this one person comes. And I was just speaking to Josephine Sr., and she told me that, hey, we started going out when we were 13 years old. And now we are, what, 84 years later? 80-something years later? And 70, okay, 70 years later. That's right, he's not 100 yet. Sorry. And Josephine's mother said you probably shouldn't date him because he's going to become a priest. But obviously, life got in the way. Okay, and we're glad that all worked out. I think we should start. Is that okay? Okay. I'm going to do a few thank yous and then welcome Josephine Jr. to the stage. And really what we're doing here is celebrating our latest chapbook, and you should be holding one in your hands. We did pass one around where everyone could sign as a memento. Okay. Can you guys hold up your chapbooks? Make sure you got them. Yep, that's the right one. This is number 38. 38. And I believe the first one was with Judge DeFazio, and we have members of the DeFazio family here. Where is retired Judge DeFazio? They're in the back. Okay, and his lovely wife. Very cool. So we kind of say that, you know, when you finally have a chapbook made of you, from your life story, you have achieved stardom in Hoboken. Okay? We can't do everyone. We choose who gets done. You can't buy it. You can't brand it. We decide. And it's a really big committee and vetting process that does this. Again, I didn't really introduce myself. My name is Bob Foster. I'm the director at the museum, and I really want to thank a few people who have been the stakeholders, the keystones in the chapbook project. And the first one to mention is Holly Metz. Holly, could you come out a little further? A little louder, please. I always joke that I'm pretty good connecting with people in Hoboken and, you know, finding the subject matter for the chapbooks, but I could never see it from A to Z. And Holly is the person who keeps us on track. So thank you, Holly. And these aren't even 38 chapbooks. These are about 30. So we have a lot of luminaries of Hoboken, and of course that tradition continues today. There's also a very important person who works on the chapbook, and she's going to be hard to see. She's on the steps. It's Anne-Marie Menka. Anne-Marie, come around the corner. Anne-Marie has been designing the chapbooks as long as I remember. And is that Zoe? Noah. Noah, I'm so sorry. I forgot your name. It's only been 20 years, right? Okay. Noah Palumbo, Anne-Marie's daughter. Anne-Marie was definitely here in Hoboken for many years, but then she escaped and went west, and for many reasons. But she's probably more in touch with Hoboken than a lot of people. Like, she will email and say, hey, I hear it's the sky is orange outside, and I haven't been outside. So she really knows what's going on. And it so happens she's traveling, and I can't say you came just for this event, can I?
I came to also see my in-laws.
Okay, the in-laws are important, but so are the chapbooks. So that's pretty cool. Okay, and I'm just thinking there are probably a few people in the audience who've had chapbooks that they have been part of the chapbook program. I see Billy Guide back there. Billy, raise your hand. Okay. Okay, if you see Billy walking around town, he's probably handing out one of his chapbooks saying, "They did a book on me." Just teasing, Billy, just teasing. Okay, okay. And Billy's going to say a few words later about our subject today. And then, of course, we have Joe Trulio. Joe, give a raise. Yes. Joe is also going to say a few words later, and believe it or not, Trulio's, the meat market has closed, as we know, but if you go over to, what's my address, 423 Adams, is that? 414, sorry. 414 Adams, you will see Joe behind the counter or in the back room lifting 40 pounds of mozzarella. So very cool to see this kind of connection between Trulio's, Fiore's, and of course it's about good people. Okay, do we have our people? Okay, let's give a warm welcome to Josephine Jr., who has agreed to MC this event. We have speakers of the families first, and then we will open it up to the floor. If you have an interesting story, we'd love to hear it. Let's hear it for Josephine Jr.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for all coming to help me celebrate this amazing man. So Giovanni, AKA John Amato, has many titles: the Mutz Man, Mr. Fiore's, the man, the myth, the legend. But 4 people, including myself, have the privilege and honor to call him Dad. Giovanni Amato was born May 8th, 1935. To an Italian immigrant named Vincenzo Amato, who we always like to say, AKA Jimmy Amato, who jumped ship, but he really didn't jump ship. He just never went back to Italy. My grandmother, Felicia, we have tons of aliases in our family, AKA Elizabeth, AKA Lena Frezza Amato, was born in Spring Lake, and then as a child went back to Italy and migrated here when she was older and met my grandfather. They had 3 children. They met in Hoboken and had 3 children: my dad, Giovanni Amato, my Aunt Marianne Vitolo, my Uncle Vincent Amato. And my Aunt Marianne tells me my dad growing up was always funny, liked to tease, always had a smile on his face, and was loved by all. He was an altar boy at St. Francis, and is and was always religious, and religion was always a very important part of his life. When he was 13, he met Josephine Gambuto, the true love of his life. At 15, he started working for Joe Fiore's as a delivery boy and a cleanup boy, and in 1965, he bought the store for Mr. Fiore's. I said 1965. I did. He really put Fiore's on the map. Celebrities of all kind came to Fiore's and also had Fiore shipped to their residence. He shipped Fiore's mozzarella as far away as California and to a museum in Kansas. Some of his popular celebrities included Frank Sinatra, Jimmy Roselli, Joe Pantoliano, Danny Aiello. The store has also been featured on many television shows like 30 Rock, Rachel Ray, Man vs. Food, and The Cake Boss. I could go on and on about the accolades and awards Fiore's has won, but the driving force would always be my dad. Family is everything to my dad. He worked with his brother, his best friend, his confidant, Vincent Amato. He also worked with his brother-in-law, Dominic Vitolo, making mozzarella in the back. My 2 brothers worked in the store, Vincent, and now the current owner, my brother John. He worked with countless nephews, as well as his 2 grandsons, Giovanni and John. His favorite person to work with was probably my mom. She was the soup maker, along with my Aunt Mary in the 2000s and the 1990s. My mom and my dad married in 1959. They had 4 children: my brother Vincent, Lisa Amato Myers, my sister, and of course, John Jr., and myself. My mom and dad are the definition of soulmates, and their love is so true. Their love is like no other. One of my favorite memories of my parents is when we used to go to Atlantic City, and their favorite casino was the Showboat. And all of you that know the Showboat knew that there was a band that was always playing. My dad would take my mom in his arms and dance across the dance floor. When I was little, Dad's day off was Wednesday, and it still is Wednesday because at 88 years old, my dad still works 5 days a week, 10-hour days. When I was little, Wednesdays were my favorite days of the week. Dad and Mom would pick us up, and we would go do so many fun things. Maybe a trip to Broadway, maybe even going to grab some fast food, just always being together as a family. When I went to college in 1989, it was the first time I ever had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for lunch in my entire life. My college friends would say to me, "What did you eat when you were in elementary school for lunch?" And I would say, salami and mozzarella, prosciutto, and of course, everyone's favorite, ham and mozzarella. I was the envy at every lunch table I ever sat at. In college, my dad would send me care packages, and you would see the line at my door, everyone wanting a piece of that famous mozzarella. I think my dad's favorite title is Grandpa. He has 9 grandchildren: Olivia Johnson, Pia Beck, Giovanni Lewis, my son, who's also his namesake, John Amato, my nephew, who's also his namesake. I told you we like to name each other over and over again. Dara Lewis, Aiden Amato, Halia Lewis, Jude Amato, and Adrian Amato. My dad would do anything for his grandchildren. When my niece Olivia was young, she was playing in one of those plastic tubes suspended in the sky that little kids crawl into. And of course, who was her playmate right next to her? My dad. Yes, he did get stuck in the tube for a few minutes, but he made it out with the help of my mom. My dad took his grandchildren to Disney World in Aruba. He loved to teach them old Hoboken songs. Shaving cream, 5 cents. Oh, let me not finish that one. Ginger ale, oh, can't finish that one either. Just a few to name. My dad loves to whistle and sing and has a constant smile on his face. He is by far the happiest man I know. I know my sister and I said the role model that the bar that he set for husbands, and we were so blessed to pick husbands like our dad. I know that he loves my mom, family, and of course, Fiore's. My wish is to be half the parent he is. Speaking for my brothers and sisters, he is the best father in the whole wide world. He is one of the finest sons of Hoboken. And later, I hope to all have a piece of mozzarella and raise it up, and cheers to my dad. Thank you. We're gonna have my brother John come and say a few words.
Thank you, John.
Thanks, John.
My speech is going to be a lot shorter. All right. I really didn't prepare for anything, but I'm just going to tell you a few stories and all that. The motivation behind my father was actually his mother and his father. He seen my grandfather work in the tool and die factories here in Hoboken, and he used to always say, as soon as you walked into that building, your eyes just started to just weep, you know. And there was my grandfather working day in, day out to provide for his family. And which he did. Every Saturday night was steak night. And he would cut the steak up, and he would wait until everybody ate, and then my grandfather would eat. So seeing that day in, day out, it really drove my father to work hard and to have a family. Everything is family. While working for Mr. Fiore, he saw Mr. Fiore have Cadillacs at that time, and he said, that would be a nice thing to always have, you know. And it drove him. He worked 7 days a week, not just because he wanted to do it, he liked doing it, he actually loved doing it. You know, he got to meet many people throughout all these decades. And to tell you the truth, in the 4 decades I've been working in the store, it never really felt like work. We always worked with family. It was a good time. We all did what we did. And the days just clipped off, the weeks clipped off, the decades clipped off. We still say today, we start working on a Monday morning, we finish our mozzarella in the morning, and we say, that's Monday, and then next thing you know, that's Saturday. And we did the same thing day in, day out for decades. My father will tell you, he loved doing it. He loves the people. He sit back there, and time just passed. But it was a good thing. He saw all our friends, our families grow. It's a nice accomplishment. Yeah, I mean, he told me it's great that they're honoring me. He goes, but I'm just doing what I wanted to do and what I love to do. So thank you for everybody coming out. It's a great pleasure to see everybody. Thank you.
We're just going to have a few words from his grandchildren. So would all of would you guys come on up? And my children, this is Giovanni. He's the oldest one here, so he'll start us off.
Thank you. It's been a privilege and an honor to be out here. Love my grandfather. Many stories, just working as a little kid at the store. And it's great to be here, and thank you for coming out. We all love this man right here. So thank you.
I think he said everything that I was going to say, but yeah, we truly love our grandpa. He's my best friend. He got me into some of my quirks, Frank Sinatra, vinyl collecting. Yeah, he truly has made such an impact in my life, and it's amazing to see him immortalized in this museum. I know I love coming here when I come and visit. And thank you all so much for coming out. Thank you. I know how much you guys love him, probably as much as we do. Thank you so much.
Okay, well, they both took everything I was going to say. So I just want to say my grandfather is such an inspiration to me, and everything I do is for him. I love going to this store. It's a little embarrassing cutting in front of everyone in the line, but it's totally worth it. Yeah, I just want to say I love you so much, and thank you. I'm so happy to be a part of this family. Thank you.
Thank you, Grandpa, for everything. And even though so much time has passed to a point where sometimes I would be driving you to work, I still remember the days of elementary school where I would go over to where you guys would pick me up, and I would go over to stay at your house till the late afternoon. I miss those days, and I love you both.
My grandpa's been such a good family man. He's taught me the importance of family. He's in the kitchen or in the living room. He's always talking about how much he loves his family. He whistles a lot, and I take that from him. So I love him. Thank you.
Okay. So my Aunt Mary, I believe, is... Oh, okay. Great. This is my cousin Maria, my beautiful cousin Maria, and beautiful Kiara. And my cousin Nicole. Thank you.
Thank you, Jen. Maria, am I doing this or are you doing try. Sorry, I had a little bit of breathing trouble on the way, so my sister is giving me a little moral support up here, okay? Thanks to Bob and all the great people who work at the museum for honoring and celebrating small businesses like Fiore's. There's no doubt that they are a major part of what makes Hoboken special. Small businesses are all about people, the customers who are neighbors and become friends, and the staff who become family. And if you're lucky, like at Fiore's, they are family. Uncle John, my dad, and Uncle Doc were the most dedicated team. Uncle John always singing and whistling, so you're right. Uncle Doc sweet-natured with the best laugh and the magic mutz-making touch, and my dad with the general in the field whose dry humor made the experience much richer. To say that we are a food family is an understatement. Fiore's, for us, is a living memory of our father. It was his home away from home, a place where he shared meals and with his beloved brother-in-law, and friends, where for a time he worked side by side with our mom and Aunt Jo, who made the best soups ever. Everybody was there. Everybody has their favorite sandwich maker, and for me, sorry, she's eating chips in my ear. Everybody has their favorite sandwich maker, and for me, there will never be a roast beef mutz and gravy as delicious as the one he made. And I just want to say, every day we take a walk in the morning and we pass and we say hi to Uncle John and we say hi to Pop Pop, and we come in and her favorite thing is getting some mozzarella from Uncle John.
So Joe Trulio will go next. We love Joe. Joe is like the best. Between my dad and Joe, the smiles and Fiore's are definitely endless between those two.
I've been practicing all week. I feel like Luca Brasi on The Godfather. But I just would like to say a few words. It's a great honor today to celebrate with John and his family. He runs a traditional business in Hoboken. It is a very special place. Our friendship dates back long before Hoboken. On my mother's side, John and my mom's mother knew each other in Italy. And he was, when he was a little boy, he was in a flower boy in my aunt and uncle's wedding party. So long before the families were friends and peers in business, we had a deep connection. We have fond memories going back to Fiore's, me picking up my mom and my Aunt Rosie, who lived a few doors down on Adams Street, getting the mozzarella, especially on St. Anne's Day. Let me go. Where did I stop now? I'm sorry. I thought John and Vinny and Doc were mentors to me. We always helped each other out in business and supported each other in the ups and downs, both professionally and personally. When I closed the butcher shop back in 2019, I knew that I needed a place to work. There was no question in my mind. I wanted to spend my time in Fiore's because it felt like home to me. I love seeing my customers, my new customers, and learning how to make a twist and mozzarella in the back with John. And I think I'm getting there. I'm not there yet, but we're getting close. I'm so proud to call you my family friend, and I hope able to work alongside you each day. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Okay. Who are we? Was there anyone else that would like to speak?
Yeah, we got people.
You got some people. Great. Sure. Perfect.
Okay. I did forget to mention a few other chapbook recipients. We have Milka Guzman. Milka's. And also, when we did Trullio's, it included Steve and Joe. Steve, say hi. I feel better. I was going to have bad dreams about that. It's funny. I mean, Fiore's, I hate to be honest, I'm just not eating that way, so you're not seeing me as much. But when we started doing the chapbook, I would come kind of on a weekly basis, looking for John Jr., looking for John Sr. Sometimes I'd miss, but I would just start snapping away. And there's something about being in that store. I mean, we're talking about a cash business, right? No credit cards, no scan marks, no QR codes. It's all about eyeballs. And the relationship that people have who come in there, who've been coming there for years with the counter guys, is pretty amazing. I mean, I feel like I'm at Giant Stadium at a tailgate party or something. I mean, it's just like a real homeschool atmosphere, and I don't think of any other place like that. And that's something you should all witness. Thank goodness John Jr. is well-equipped, well-trained, and going to continue the business. That's right, John? Okay. And that is one of the biggest challenges. You can own your property, that's one issue, the rents, but if you don't have a dedicated person who's giving a good part of their life to running the business, you got another problem. But looks like Fiore's is going to be around for a long time. We have suffered so many hits the last 3 years with old-time places. I'm not even going to mention, I'll get weepy. But Fiore's is here to stay and something to be proud of. And let's give a big applause to John Jr. This chapbook really honors John Sr., but John Jr. is, as John Sr. would say, running the show, and that's a lot on his shoulders, and he's doing it beautifully. I mean, I'm sure he feels the pressure, but when you go in there, you don't really see him sweat about it. He's just kind of been, like he said, it's what we do, and the weeks flow, and the people are nice, and I enjoy what I'm doing. The counter guys are great also, I must say, to watch them work together. And as I said, this is like old school store. I don't know what's changed since the 1950s, except the price, right? And you got to keep up with the times. I forget the quote. Actually, let me just borrow this for a second.
The taste of a good mozzarella is long.
I'm just going to repeat it louder just so they can hear. On the back of the chapbook is just a sign from the store. The taste of a good mozzarella is remembered long after the price is forgiven. Okay, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. As we all get older, we know quality is more important. Maybe we don't eat as much, but we want to eat good stuff. So if you're going to eat mutz, you might as well eat the best. And that's what we got here in Hoboken. Very cool. Sometimes when you work on a chapbook, you really get dedicated, and it actually enters your dreams. I know that sounds weird, but you think, oh, I could have taken a better photo, or I should have asked that question. And what has entered my dream is one of the last times I went into Fiore's. I think I missed both John Sr. and John Jr., but there was this couple, really beautiful kids, sitting in the parking lot, and lo and behold, they cannot wait to go to the waterfront or home to eat their sandwich. They just have their wrapping on the back of their pickup truck, and they are just wolfing it down. The mutz is dropping was draining down their chin, and I actually just watched them. I felt I was eating that sandwich. It's a beautiful moment. So thank you. So we do have a few other voices, and one of my favorite people in town who recently was honored with a chapbook is Billy Guide. Let's give a warm welcome to Billy.
Here we have another chapbook. Last time I was up here, Bob cut me off. Because look at all the time he just took. I'm just kidding. I moved into one of Mr. Amato's buildings at 419 Jefferson. And so the first week I get there, I get settled in, and I see all this smoke coming out from the back of the store. I was like, oh my goodness. I called Fiore's. Mr. Amato answered, hello, Fiore's. I go, Mr. Amato, there's a lot of smoke coming out of the back of the store. He said, oh, that's just Uncle Dominic smoking the mutz. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And he was like, oh, don't worry about it, but thanks for calling. Thanks for checking in. Then I painted the store one time, and I see the sign, the taste of the mutz is long remembered after the price is long forgotten. And I said to myself, until you have two younger sisters that move out of town, and a week before Thanksgiving, you get the call, Billy, on your way to my house, get me a twist of mutz, some Dom's bread, and a pie from Cosmos. And then I said, I was out like $200 and I didn't even go Christmas shopping. And, but I just felt like family when you walked in the store. You could just feel it. And Mr. Amato would like a few jokes, so I go in the back of the store and hang out with him in the office, say a few jokes. Even though some days I was having a bad day, when I went into Fiore's, all of a sudden I came out of there laughing, you know. Is this, can you guys hear me? Yeah, okay. And I just thought, I said to myself, this guy is so nice, such a nice guy. Then I found out he wanted to be a priest. And I said, that's why, probably why. But I said, nobody could be this nice. It's like incredible. And the only time he yelled at me once because I didn't charge him enough for painting the store. I said, I feel bad even charging you, you know? But what a sweetheart of a man. And him being honored in this chapbook just brings up all the other chapbooks, picks up all the other chapbooks, I mean. But I love Miss Amato. Mrs. Amato, remember Josephine, you used to feed my dog roast beef? And then I had to walk my dog at 3 in the morning because he got another story. One day, I think Mr. Amato knew my favorite day was sausage and mutz. So one day I worked late, I came home, and in front of my door, there's a quart of sausage in a Tupperware. I was like, wow, that's so. So I run upstairs, say hi to Vinny. I said, Vinny, thanks for the mutz. And it might have been John Jr. who brought the mutz. Was it you? I think it was Vinny. Yeah. But it was, what a nice family. They're so sweet. And I feel like family with them. It's beautiful people, I must say. Thank you very much.
Okay, we're not done yet. I'd like to introduce another family member, and this is Vinny, I'm sorry, Vicky. I have so many Vinnies and Doms and Johns. I'm going crazy with this family, and Josephines. But anyway, Vicky Ginnicaspero is someone I've known for the last 20 years. She's got a great, how many sisters are here? Okay. And brothers. But anyway, it's a great family, and Vicky volunteers in the museum, I'll say religiously, 1 day a week. We always say that when someone comes in to visit the museum, that there's like maybe 1 degree of separation or 0 degrees of separation if they were born in Hoboken and they haven't been back in 20, 30 years. Vicky will remind them that they were on the cheerleading squad together. But anyway, here's Vicky to say some nice words about the Amato family and Fiores.
I'm short. Hi, everybody. Can you hear me? Maybe this is better. Okay. Congratulations to you all. This is a real joy and honor to be here, not as the volunteer, but as a proud moment for the Amato family. Congratulations, John, and all the siblings, and Mary Ann. And my sister Mary left, and I'm going to start with my sister Mary. So Mary was married to Vinny, my brother-in-law, and so we kind of resemble each other, as all my sisters do. So basically, if anybody knows, Vinny was a great Jet fan. And so any of the customers who walked in the store, that was the thing with Vinny, okay? So here I am, a Giant fan. And, on a cold, fall morning, I'm walking in there, and I had my son Jason, like that, this high, all those years ago, and walking in, getting my weekly staples, and Vinny wasn't there, but another Vinny was there, Vincent Amato, John's son. So he was alone, and he said, "Hey Vic, you want a piece of mutz?" So I said, "Sure." And as I went to savor it, delicious, some customer comes in, and from the side, he thought I was Mary. So he says, "What are you doing with that Giant shirt on?" So I said, "Let me swallow and get it down so I can tell him I'm Vicky." So I went, and it didn't go anywhere, and I couldn't talk, and then I kept trying it, and Vincent, John's son, God bless him, EMT trained, I let go of my son's hand, I gave the sign, "I'm choking," and he raced around. He held me up because that's how bad it got. Twice gave me the Heimlich maneuver. And so I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful to the mutz that I enjoyed but didn't swallow. I want to say that when you eat a piece of the most delicious mutz ever, just remember, don't bite off more than you can chew. God bless you.
So Vicky, I know you told that story to me a few weeks back, but I don't think you've told that story to too many people. We need you as a volunteer, yes. Okay. So would anyone else like to share a memory? Any thoughts? Any thoughts?
My cousins are here, and my neighbors from the shore are here, and a lot of great friends are here.
Sure. No, we got the people. I was just looking for more stuff. But anyway, it's fine. So I think, John, would you want to say a few words? You could stay right where you are, and I'll just hand you the microphone. And Joseph and Mom also. Who wants to go first? Okay. And as Frank said, we're saving the best to last. That's right. Oh, sorry. Here we go. Want to go up?
I guess when I was 13 years old, I used to go to St. Anne's Church. I did not go to St. Francis, because that was an Italian church, and then my mother and father and my 4 sisters and myself used to go to St. Anne's. Then St. Anne's had to close down because they didn't have enough people going to Mass there. And we were transferred as, receiving communion or confirmation. So I had to go to St. Francis for confirmation when I was 13. And that's when I met the man of my life. It was love at first sight. He just came home from a seminary. He was going to be a priest. And I remember very vividly Father Gilbert May lining up all the girls to kiss John to welcome him. And when it was my turn, it seems like the stars just burnt. It was love at first sight. Love at first sight. We're married many, many years. I guess it's about 62. I don't even remember now. But it is. I was 13, and he was 13. And it was a wonderful life. I have no regrets. I never will have. And my children, I have children that were like God to me, and grandchildren that I love. There is something in your blood that really makes you feel great to see your whole family with you, and all these wonderful people coming all over for giving John a good day. Thank you all. Love you all.
Well, that was very nice, Joe. You make me feel real great. But I would like at this time to thank Bob, who did a wonderful job coming back and forth. I was never prepared for him, and I'm sorry for that. And of course, we've had a great time. And I feel that the museum itself is such a wonderful thing to think of. 20 years from now, we look back at this museum and say, what a beautiful thing it was. And it is. It's a credit to Hoboken, and the volunteers that do their work here do a wonderful job. You should be commended. It's a great, great time, and you made an old man very happy, very happy. I accept that my award with great humility, but I'm grateful for it, and it made me a happy, happy man. Thank you, and God bless you.
Okay, as I said, we saved the best to last, and very cool, very cool. That concludes our program. We do have some mutz balls to distribute. When we have a crowd this big, it's like, what do you do? Yeah, I don't know, we're going to try it. We hope you stick around. Generally, what we do is fold the chairs, stack them against the wall. I could use your help on that, but don't stack too many against the wall, because then they'll start to slide out. And then I guess Holly and I will go around with some mutz, and there's some wine in the back. I'll put some Jimmy Roselli music back on the YouTube. And thank you for all coming. One more applause for everything.